Well, good evening, YouTube. Do you like my shirt? This is my buddy's dad's shirt. A whole bunch of crowns, and the white crowns in the middle make a fucking eagle. It's the ugliest shirt in the world. But I don't like buying clothes, so I wear whatever's given to me for free. I don't care. I'm not in any beauty pageants. Yeah, that's why I wear so many beer shirts. Today we are drinking a beer. Today's beer, we only have 2 beers to choose from. I don't know which one I should look at. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. We'll look at this one. We're going to look at a beer from Collective Arts. This is Collective Arts Collective Project. Their Sour Pumpkin Saison at 5% alcohol. So there is the front. There is the artwork. I actually like the idea of this. It's the first, other than a couple pumpkins, this is the first pumpkin beer I'm going to drink for this year. And in all honesty, this one intrigues me the most. Ingredients: water, malted barley, Munich, malts, Pilsner, Munich, and amber. Flaked wheat malt, hops, yeast, pumpkin, cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, cloves, and ginger. I hate cloves in my pumpkin beers. I do find they overpower quite often, as well as nutmeg. Everything else, the ginger, the allspice, the cinnamon, I can get behind all that. Even vanilla. Put some vanilla in there. But I don't know how those spices are going to react to a sour beer, to be honest. 5% alcohol, so exactly what I want too. It's closer to true ABV for a Saison, which excites me. I'm tired of seeing all these 7, 8, 9% alcoholic Saisons, and I've been talking about it for years. But, I'll still drink them to see what they're like, but I'm still going to whine about them. I'm allowed. That's the thing. I'm allowed to whine about them, especially when I have a reasoning behind my whining, and I can tell you why I'm whining. If I'm just whining about it just to whine about it, oh, wow, why is this can purple? Fuck that purple can. That's one thing, but if I actually can come out with a constructive reason for what I'm saying, then it's better. Fuck, I can say whatever I want. I have that right, but there's that right of everybody else to feel whatever way they want about what I'm saying. They don't have to agree with what I'm saying, and they don't have to like what I'm saying. But at least if I can communicate my ideas with what I'm saying, it's better. Wow, that is thick. Okay, the only time I can see my hand is when it actually touches the glass. Right here I can see it. As soon as I come a few millimeters from the glass, I can't see shit. That's nice. That's a beautiful looking beer. I see some shit floating in there. I see a bunch of carbonation. Beautiful, like golden color. There was some nice white head for a few moments. That's weird. Because it says it's a sour pumpkin Saison. I don't actually smell any tartness. I pick up allspice. I pick up cinnamon. I pick up the ginger. I pick up a peppery scent from the yeasts. Like, this is an intriguing beer. This is exactly what I kind of wanted. Yeah. Allspice, ginger, cinnamon, all showing up there, making almost like a pumpkin latte type of scent, mixed with a little bit of pepperiness. And that's about it. I can't say I smell the nutmeg. I can't say I smell the cloves, even though I hate cloves. You'd think I'd pick them up. I can't say I smell pumpkin, but very rarely do you actually smell pumpkin in a beer, because pumpkin's more there for the mouth feel than anything else. Yeah. Let's try the beer. Cheers. Okay. Off the first sip, I don't think the beer's for me, but, and I'll have to have more than one sip to make that final assessment, but I'm just saying, off the first sip, I don't think the beer's for me. However, that is one of the most inventive pumpkin beers I've had in Ontario. Usually, Ontario pumpkin beers, you're basically just getting that pumpkin spiced beer and just mouth dryingly clovey and everything else. This is different than those. The only Ontario pumpkin beers I can think of that aren't really like that is maybe like Nickelbrook's Pissed Off Pete's pumpkin porter, or Alora had a pumpkin porter too. And there's a bunch of pumpkin beers that are done by Five Paddles. So those are the ones that I would probably think of as the better ones in Ontario. I think this is actually a really good pumpkin beer. It's just not, off that first sip, it's just not for me. I just think it's really good because it's inventive. Okay. So it says sour pumpkin ale. I wouldn't really say it's sour. There is a slight touch of the, oh, I can't even think right now. There is a slight touch of tartness, but very slight. You get a bready forefront, that those flaked wheats, that flaked wheat comes out to make an almost bready, biscuity forefront. It's not sweet, but I mean that's where the tartness is too. You get that tartness right at the beginning, and you get this bready flaked wheat taste. I shouldn't even say bready flaked wheat. Maybe more like your mom doesn't want to give you sugar, and she bought you shredded wheat, not the frosted wheat, but the just full on shredded wheat, just those little fucking wheat balls, and just that with a little bit of sourness. So maybe like you had like 4-week old milk with your flaked wheat, and that was the beginning of it. And then you get a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, a touch of cloves, and a touch of ginger. I'm not really tasting the allspice. I smelled it, I'm not really tasting it. About medium bodied. You'd expect something with pumpkin in it to be at least medium bodied. That it has that effervescence, very minimal actually. I thought there would be more because of how fast that head faded, but yeah, minimal effervescence. I like this, but I don't like it at the same time. I don't really know what to think of it. As the as the first new pumpkin beer for me for the season, it's something entertaining. It's something intriguing. But comparing it to Pum King for myself, no, it doesn't. It doesn't even hold a torch. It doesn't even hold a candle. It doesn't even hold a match up to Pum King for me personally. But that being said, it is probably again one of the most inventive Ontario pumpkin beers I've had, and probably one of the most inventive beers I've had from Collective Arts in general. I even commented when Erica announced this beer. I commented that sounded like a very intriguing combination, and it is. It's a very intriguing combination, and it's an intriguing combination because off that first sip I hated it. Now I actually kind of like it, but I just don't know how much I like it. It's just one of those things. You might actually hate this. If you hate Saisons, you're going to hate this. If you hate pumpkin beers, you might actually hate this. But if you like Saisons, you'll probably like this. If you like pumpkin beers, you'll probably like this. If you like new beers, you might like this. But you need to at least like a Saison, because it has that weedy, that little cloviness, that little pepperiness. It has all that. Okay. It chugs fine. It tastes fine. Oh, excuse me. Burp almost has a little bit of pumpkin flavor to it. The beer doesn't at all. The burp kind of did. 5% alcohol, so you can drink a bunch of them. $3.45 a can, so I mean, you can afford more than one of them, but there are cheaper options out there. All in all, it's a good beer. All in all, if I rated it on my first sip, I probably would have given it a 5.25. Rating it now that I've finished it, Probably worth a 7. I like that the cloves and nutmeg are in there, but they're dialed back. It's not all cloves and it's not all nutmeg, which is what I was worried about. Not getting a nutmeg and clove bomb makes me happy. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. 7 out of 10 from the Rhino Collective Arts Collective Project. Sour Pumpkin Saison. A nice, intriguing beer. Goodbye.